How to fix Pixel Gun 3D. I told you in one of my previous videos, I give this game 1 year. Starting in June 2024, I'm giving Pixel Gun 3D 1 year to improve the problems that we have endured for a very long time. These are going to be bite-sized videos on how to fix specific aspects of this game. I want you guys to help me as well. Leave some comments down below on where you think the biggest problems in Pixel Gun 3D are and how you can fix them. This is not a video to throw shade at the developers. I'm not here to complain and rage. I just want to help this game. And if I can do this in bite-sized videos, then awesome. I'm also going to be using other games as an analogy. For example, today in this video, we are going to be starting by focusing on the barrier effect. Because although the developers nerf these weapons, it is still going to be an underlying problem going forward with other weapons. In fact, I'm going to be using Minecraft as a prime example. It is clear to see, ever since Pixel Gun 3D released on the PC Steam version, the game has been heading in one direction. We went from 25,000 active daily players to them struggling to get even 3,000 players on a weekend as we making today's video. Now, we understand that Pixel Gun 3D isn't just on the Steam PC version, it's also on iOS, and it's available on Android. But how long can they keep hold of those players? So yeah, I give Pixel Gun 3D 1 year. 1 year to listen to their creators and their community on suggested feedback. If we come back in 1 year's time, June 2025, and we haven't seen a significant improvement and we've been ignored, well, I think that tells us everything we need to know. And I will be moving on from this game. In the most recent balance changes for Pixel Gun 3D, the Rusted Revolver did get a nerf. Its DPS was decreased by 15%. Now, this weapon is still a problem and still very overpowered. And what the developers seem to not understand is it's not necessarily about the weapon, it's more about the effects. This weapon is still a 2-shot. But like I mentioned, it's not just the Rusted Revolver. In this gameplay, I'm using the leader's best friend. It becomes even more apparent when I'm using the Royal Guardian. It makes you unstoppable. So you can nerf as many weapons as possible using the barrier effect. It's not going to make any difference. It's just going to destroy the weapon rather than fixing the problem. It's like putting a plaster on a broken leg. It's not going to resolve the problem, is it? Now, the best way for me to explain what barrier is by using the Rusted Revolver. It is practically a shield. When you have hold of this, you are shielded from incoming damage. I think barrier as a whole has like a 50% damage reduction. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to go into the specifics. I'm just going to go on how I think they can resolve these issues. Again, feel free to leave your input in the comment section. Now, considering this is a shield should be made to be broken. If we head over to the Pixel Gun wiki page, we have the details regarding barrier. It says these weapons that feature the barrier attribute, where when held, a small percentage of incoming damage will be reflected back to the source. However, some of these weapons / gadgets provide an extremely strong damage resistance, such as the Royal Guardian, Armor Cuba Power, and Dreams Warden. So there's no actual way to defend against this. You don't actually have to defend against this. I think there needs to be a way to break the barrier effect. So we all know that the Rusted Revolver is a problem. The problem is barrier. I don't think the head enlargement is a problem. I don't think blindness is a problem. I don't think the attributes are a problem. This weapon combined with the Royal Guardian, I believe it does have like stacking, which again is why you see everybody using this. Another big problem we have is I don't actually think, now you guys can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong here, there is a way to get the Royal Guardian gadget anymore. Now, if that's true, then this makes it unfair for new players and players who might have missed out. Again, I don't think I can get this because I was looking on my free-to-play accounts and I couldn't actually see how to access this. So yes, let's use Minecraft as an example. And the reason why we're going to do this is because let's say the Iron Golem is the barrier effect. And this is how we can resolve and fix these problems. Let's say I'm a player with a weapon. Every time I shoot that player that has the barrier effect, the barrier effect starts to crack. Now, let's say at first that at 100%. Right now, the barrier is at 75%. We hit him again, the barrier is at 50%. We hit it again, they go down to 25. We hit them again, and barrier is broken. So consider barrier to be an actual shield. If you hit that player enough with enough bullets, it breaks that barrier protection. Then they are then once again vulnerable. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, so let's use the trident as an example here. Hopefully these analogies help you. Let's say this weapon, which is sharpness, is technically my barrier weapon. Obviously, if I take incoming damage, starting from 100% all the way down to 25, let's say I've just been hit 100%, the barrier effect is now broken. Now, you guys would probably think, well, let's just switch to this and go back to this, and the barrier effect is then restored. No. For as long as you are alive, if players hit you and destroy your barrier effect, it's gone until you die. Now, yes, barrier would still be quite powerful, but it wouldn't be as powerful. It wouldn't mean people are just running around with this and the Royal Guardian. I think the Royal Guardian gadget needs to be the exact same, but we'll focus on that in a second. Let's use leather armor as another example. Leather armor is barrier for me, right? So let's go ahead and hit this Iron Golem, for example. He's not going to be happy with me. And as you can see here, I'm taking a lot of damage. Over a certain period of time, you can see that my barrier is about to be broken. Once my barrier is broken, then you are then once again vulnerable. So you can see here, their part of it's broken. Another part's about to break. There you go, one more. It's going to break. As you can see now, I have no barrier effect. That means I'm then once again vulnerable. You could also use a shield as an example. You can see this perfectly in my hotbar. Obviously, with Pixel Gun 3D, the barrier effect would be broken a lot quicker compared to this. But this is my solution to how you fix barrier in Pixel Gun 3D. So my shield's about to be broken. And come on, hit me again. Now I'm vulnerable. Now players can then go ahead and start hitting me with their other weapons. And this could well be the same for the Royal Guardian. But let's talk about the Royal Guardian in a separate way. As for the Royal Guardian and anything that has barrier in the future, let's hit T and activate this. So you can see here, when you have the Royal Guardian active, you kind of have these shields around you. Let's say each one of these shields has a percentage. With enough incoming percentage damage, they crack at a time. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we have 5 of them, right? It's very similar to the Iron Golem. Enough shots would crack and break one of those shields. The more you do it, the more it breaks. I just think this gadget combined with something like the Rusted Revolver is just so broken. There needs to be a way to fix this. Now, of course, I'm all ears and I want to know your opinions in the comments section. Maybe you agree with what I'm saying, but you can elaborate and have another idea on how they can fix it. I just don't think anyone should be this powerful in Pixel Gun 3D. No one should have God mode like this. Like, that guy is 3-cat spamming me like crazy. Not enough to kill me or finish me is absolutely insane, considering how fast the regular person in Pixel Gun 3D actually dies. Like, you see what I mean? So, yeah, that's the solution I have. Love to know your opinions about it in the comment section for sure. Because, like I said, they can go ahead and nerf weapons, constantly nerf weapons, but it's not going to fix the problem on the surface. The problem on the surface is barrier. The problem is not the weapon. That's how I see it. You could go ahead and give the default weapons barrier, and you're still going to be protected against the damage, the incoming damage. I don't think the outcoming damage is too much of a problem with this. Now, yeah, it's powerful. We know that this weapon is powerful, right? I like the head enlargement. I think it's a cool attribute. Obviously, we've got other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D that are probably stronger than this, but these combinations, and I think stacking is included here. You guys, again, can correct me if I'm wrong here. But I think stacking is a thing in Pixel Gun 3D, which is why people used this kind of combination. You can just see it here, man. It's not really fair, is it? It's not fair. With that being said, guys, let me know your opinions in the comment section. Would love for you to expand on my opinions. I know Pixelgun has like a feedback section on their Discord. Whether they listen to that or not, I do not know. But I'll do my best to try and see what you guys are also saying on how to fix things.